Tonight, from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, it's the NFC Championship game.
For the right to head down to New Orleans for Super Bowl 58, it's NFC Championship time. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Completes it to the fullback, Ham. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it? The slot receivers are the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Cameron Curl.
And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, a shaky start for both quarterbacks now. We had the interception on the opening drive, and now they throw it right back to him.
So does that mean we're really kind of starting from the beginning, Brandon, right? Both of them have done it, so we kind of start from scratch. Looks to me like both of these defenses have done their homework, and they're executing quite well.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And defensively going with a dime set, 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Montez Sweat just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
A give. This is Cook. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Carlson able to put this one through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense down, saying, thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive. Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Second and 9 now. There's McLaurin. What a catch. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
That is one heck of a catch right there. Got his eye on it the whole way and able to make the grab one-handed. Very nicely done, and for a nice chunk of yardage, too.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 42 yards rushing now as he's looked good here in this opening quarter of the NFC Championship.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And Washington has taken the lead. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in after report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Hain to return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Vikings head out to take over once again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times you just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Cook following the penalty. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter. Back to throw here. Complete. Smith has it. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
2nd and 5. And he will find his man, Samuel. The 20. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, 70 yards. And Washington able to come up with a quick strike touchdown. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. That's complete to his running back, Evans. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be second down. Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, big man with the ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
The Vikings Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He'll drop to throw. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. First down, here's the run with Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Two minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report in a bit. The coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 44-yard line. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. He's got a man complete. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Thomas brings it in. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Second and 10. Now they try the right side here. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. McPherson's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And I think here with the lead, CD, they have to resist that temptation of kind of looking ahead. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I would agree, because they know the stakes. They know the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl. And this one, it's far from over. They were the better team in the first half, but they do know that they're facing their toughest opponent of the year. And they've got to be prepared for them to fight it out all the way and add a few extra wrinkles in the second half as well. They need to stay on guard.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A handoff for Gibson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 85 yards rushing for him now as he tries to will his guys into the Super Bowl. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And Washington going to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns in 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the give, this is their fullback. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. It's caught, Smith. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4 minutes.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot at a big game, their big play ability. They can strike from anywhere.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
2nd and 11. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down. One quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
The throw over the middle, taken in. 7 yards, the pickup there. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he's taken down inside the 30.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot.
And, oh, what a catch! And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Cook is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Trying the power game with Ham. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. C.J. Ham. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 190 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Going to give this time to the tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And that is Allen, still down following the play. Appears to be shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's got this to Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson. 43 yards. And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. Well, fourth quarter, it felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Second and 3. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
You know, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope as we look.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. And that's complete to Adams. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. 2nd and 2. Again, he'll drop to throw. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. Back to throw again. And it's caught. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Carlson now to add the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. So the clock sits at 16 seconds as they line up for the onside kick. And this will be recovered by Washington, and that should just about do it. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
2nd and 6. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Now a handoff as they run left side. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. He'll look to throw. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. And what a ride it has been. NFC champs, they have punched their ticket to the biggest show in sports.
And what a way to get there, to go the entire season and then play for the right to go to the Super Bowl and the right to call themselves NFC champs. Elation has to abound.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you